Breaking news out of Kansas City. Travis Kelce hyperextending his knee in practice today. Andy Reid says his status for Thursday night's opener against the Lions is uncertain. Kelce has not missed a game due to injury since his rookie season 10 years ago. That line sitting at Kansas City -6. In some books, it is now down to Kansas City -5.5. Travis Kelce, undoubtedly the best tight end in the NFL. He is in a tier all by himself in fantasy football as well. Number one ahead of Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, and others. Again, uncertain for Thursday night against the Lions. 48 hours to try to get right. Let's bring in our fantasy expert, Dave Richard. If you're one of those people that took Travis Kelce likely in the middle of the first round this season, what should you be doing right now to prepare for him potentially not playing?
You're going to need another tight end, and that goes without saying. When you get hurt this close to a game, and we're 2 days away from that game happening, it's unlikely to expect Travis Kelce to either be 100% or active for the game. So you have to go on your waiver wire. You have to see who else is out there at tight end, whether it's on the Chiefs or elsewhere around the league. I would first look for Tyler Higbee, because we might get a haymaker of news on Wednesday about Cooper Kupp out in LA. Tyler Higbee would be the biggest benefactor there. He plays tight end. He's available in about 40% of leagues. Jawan Johnson is an interesting name out of New Orleans. He's got some upside for fantasy managers who are looking for someone who can be a little bit more than a touchdown or bust type of fantasy tight end. He's available in just under 50% of leagues. Some other names: Gerald Everett with the Chargers, Irv Smith with the Bengals. Of course, there's Dawson Knox with the Bills, but he's kind of the number 2 guy. But you got to look to Kansas City, and you've got to consider at least the guy behind Travis Kelce, and that's Noah Gray. And he's been there for a couple of years, and he's a pretty good tight end. He just doesn't get a lot of opportunities because Travis Kelce gets those opportunities. But we're talking about the guy who had 26% of Patrick Mahomes' yardage last year and 30% of his touchdowns not on the field for Kansas City. Someone's got to pick them up. The tight end position is a key part of Andy Reid's offense. You could look to Noah Gray. Get him, whether you've got Kelce or not, go grab him and see if he turns out to be something decent for the first third of the year.
Yeah, this could be a long-term thing as well. We don't know. I mean, hopefully it's not a big
hopefully
deal.
Hopefully it's a one-week thing,
yeah.
and we just roll right along. We're talking about Travis Kelce, 15 or more PPR points per game each of the last 6 seasons.
Jeez.
You can hang your hat on him in fantasy, but now it looks like he might not be there for week 1.
If he's not there for whether it's 1 week or 5 weeks, how is this going to impact Mahomes and his other targets?
I think it hurts Patrick Mahomes to a degree. You're talking about the guy that he works the best with. Their synergy on the field, you watch them play, you know this. They're always on the same page. Without him there, Patrick Mahomes is going to need to be a little bit more special overall, which really you're expecting that from him anyway, so that's fine. Look for Sky Moore as a middle-of-the-field target. They might play more 4 wide receiver sets. If Richie James is healthy, that's another type of slot receiver who can go out there. They've got an interesting rookie named Rashee Rice. He had a nose for the end zone in college. He could be somebody who could end up playing a pretty decent role. But remember, there's no more McCole Hardman. There's no more Juju Smith-Schuster. So Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he's a veteran who's been around for a long time. He's a wide receiver that could absolutely take off, and maybe look for him to get more deep targets with Patrick Mahomes not having Travis Kelce as his security blanket.
All right, Travis Kelce, uncertain for Thursday and beyond because of a hyperextended knee that he suffered in practice today, according to Andy Reid. That's Dave Richard here with the fantasy angle on this. You can hear Dave and our cast of great fantasy football experts on FFT, Fantasy Football Today, the podcast. Scan that QR code. It'll take you right there. Subscribe and rate.